There's something absolutely phenomenal locked up in you, right in your core of your being.
There's a marvelous inner world that operates within you.
When you set a standard, you're coming from a frequency up here, so what you're going to attract is what's in that frequency. And when you make it a habit, your whole world is going to change.
Give up the stories of the past. Let go of the fear. It's never too late to be who you really are.
If you can see it here, you can hold it here.
When we make a decision, mountains move.
We're there. That's the key. We're there.
When your mind goes there, make up your mind it's going to stay there, because it is a place.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to day one of transformation, goal setting, and visionary. I want to thank you all for joining today. I really appreciate it. So what I want you to do is just relax, and I want you to know that this time is for you. So if you have a pen and paper, use it, because there will be things that I will say that will resonate with you. So hi, and welcome to day one of goal setting and visionary. So let me know, where are you coming from and what is the time where you are. I also want to let you know that I am streaming into YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And if you're in the Facebook group, I want to let you know that there's a link above this video here that you need to click on so that I see your name for StreamYard. For LinkedIn, StreamYard just approves it automatically. So let's dive into today. So many of you have probably heard, hello, LinkedIn user from South Florida. Can it be Mirna? I'm so grateful that you're here. And I'm so excited to start today because a lot of us are being asked, and people are asking us, what is your purpose? What do you want in your life? And sometimes when we hear that, that can make us a little bit stressed. Like we will say, like, I don't know my purpose yet. And the cool thing, hello, Facebook user. I love it. I love it. Facebook user, you need to click on the link above this video so that I can see your beautiful name. So it's a StreamYard link that just gives you the permission so that I can see your name. So good. So back to the goal. So the thing is, I want to tell you something really nice. Your purpose will find you. So what is important is that we start finding out what we really want in this life. Like, we can start with small goals. And the reason why we start with setting goals is that it moves us into action. And it also makes us think about what we want. Hello, Arai. So good to see you. So it makes us think about what we want. And it also starts the process of like thinking, yes, about what we want, because we're not trained to really sit down with the pen and paper and write, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Normally, we just make decisions with the crowd. So let's say there's a vacation and everyone goes there. So today, I want you to think about what you want. And I will be telling a couple of stories, because through stories, we can feel and recognize what we want. So first, I'm going to share my story and how I ended up doing what I was doing. So there was a day in my life. I was in my end of my 30s, and I was remembering I was walking home from a job I didn't like. And there was nothing wrong with that job. It's just that I had that job so many times. I've had that feeling so many times that I didn't want to be there. And I remember this special day when I went home from work and I was walking close to a river and it was getting really cold outside. A little bit like now, here where I am in Norway, it's getting colder outside. So I remember I was walking close to a river and I could see like the frost come up of the river. And I looked at it and I made a declaration without me knowing that that was what did. And I said, if nothing changes, I am going on a sick leave. And the reason why I said that was because I was so tired of repeating every lesson over and over again in the jobs I got. I got into the jobs, and after a while, I was miserable. So I said to the universe, something's got to change. If not, I'm going on a sick leave. And here's the amazing things. Like when I said that, I felt after that a little bit lighter. And then I walked home. And the amazing thing was that a friend of mine sent me a book and said, you should read this. And it was a book by Dale Carnegie, How to Influence People and Win Friends. I think that was the name. And I probably said it wrong. But the thing, it started something in me. And I started to read that book and I absolutely loved it. And I could feel that this is what I want to know more about. There's something here, I don't know what it is. And by me opening up, a lot of books started to come to me and I started reading them over and over again. Many Tony Robbins books came into my life and I read it and I read them over again and I felt good for a while and then my energy dropped. And then I also used to join a lot of webinars. My energy went up and then it dropped a little bit. And I said, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. And after a couple of months, it was amazing. And I remember it. It was actually October the 15th. And now we are on the October 9th. So the October the 15th, 2020, I discovered Bob Proctor. And there was something in his voice. I knew that that was the truth. And I just made a decision there and then to follow that man because everything he said made sense to me. And I followed him to his website and I signed up for a program called The Science of Getting Rich. I didn't blink when I saw the price, what I had to pay to invest in myself, because I knew that I was about to change my life. And I had this feeling within me like, something is changing. I don't know what it is, but it felt good. But it also felt scary. And here is the thing. When you make a decision to go for your goal or to grow, the vibration in your body changes. But me in that moment, I had full faith. I didn't know what was going to help me exactly, but I knew that that man knew what he was talking about. So I paid. And then I downloaded a program in the portal of the Proctor Gallagher Institute called the Paradigm Shift, because that was part of the package. And I watched that. I watched that all the hours from when I downloaded it. And I understood there and then what I had done, that I was responsible for my programming. But I was so happy because at the end of this webinar, that I watched, I had this voice within me who said, I want to do exactly what you are doing, Bob Proctor. And it was this little voice, but it was so huge because I had never in my life said to people what I wanted to do. I had always been following people, if it was going on holiday or festivals or concerts or applying for jobs. I had always done what people had told me to do. And then then I found my purpose. And I knew that that was my purpose because it made me happy. But I didn't know there in 2020 how I would make that happen. But I figured out I just got to take some steps every day and take action. And I'm so grateful that Bob Proctor came into my life. And he wouldn't have come into my life if it wasn't due to a lady called Sandy Gallagher. Sandy Gallagher was actually the person who made all this happen. Bob Proctor was on the scene long before her. But she made more people be aware of this material that I'm speaking about today, and also Bob Proctor. Because Sandy Gallagher in 2006 went to a seminar that also was You Were Born Rich, if I remember right. And she was sitting there in the seminar, and she was a lawyer, highly paid and successful. And when she heard what Bob Proctor was teaching, she had the same thing like me in a different way, where she heard herself say, and she wrote it down, I want to create a program that can be taken into corporation and help people find out what they want. And the program is going to be called Thinking into Results. That was an idea, a thought she got, and she wrote it down, and she fell in love with it. And she took action. And at that time, Bob Proctor did not know who she was. So she had to do things to make him see her. But she started getting emotionally involved with that picture, that vision, because she could see herself speaking to people. Hello, Facebook user. She could see herself speaking to people about this program, and she could see families, corporations benefit from this program. And she could see herself getting messages from people being so grateful. What I'm explaining right now is a vision that she built, and she got emotionally involved because she saw how this could help people. And in 2009, she was working with Bob Proctor. She released this program that I'm teaching, Thinking into Results, and a lot of other programs with Bob Proctor. But the thing is, if she wouldn't have this vision in her mind of this program, I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be teaching this. I wouldn't feel healed and grateful and happy. And I wouldn't have connected with this message where I said, I want to do exactly what Bob Proctor is doing. So whatever it is to you, it will come to you. It will find you. Your vision is within you. And that's what's so exciting. That's why we can relax. Because what I did when I got that message, I signed up for this program, Thinking into Results, and I started studying myself because I was so amazed about this information that was my healing, that was my calling, that had this powerful power. Powerful power. That sounds amazing. But that it had this power to heal me, because that was the first thing, that was the first transformation for me, that this information healed me. And I knew that since this information healed me, that I could heal others. So I started working right away on myself. And I started to see all the roadblocks, all the habits that I had put out there that had blocked me to move forward. And I started to create this vision of who Ingjerd is. And the amazing thing is that Ingjerd had always been within. Hello, you're from Belgium, Wouter. I hope I said your name correctly. I apologize if I didn't. But you see, I started working on myself, and I started to be really honest about who I was. And then I started to say, I want to do this. I want to teach this program, Thinking into Results, because after I went through it with my mentor, I was like, but I want to teach this. This is what I said in my vision too, when I saw Bob Proctor. So I started right away getting the license to teach this program. So what I'm telling you here too is that it's not enough to wish and hope. It's not enough to just be in a good vibration all day long. You got to take action, because action moves you into a new vibration, to the next level. And when you move to the next level, you get all the ideas at that level, not at your old level, but you got to stay there. So when I took action to invest in myself again, to be a Proctor Gallagher consultant, I was so scared. But at the same time, I had this same feeling that I had the first time. I'm doing this. I don't know how, but I'm doing it. And when I did it, I was so happy and so proud. And I started to step into her and express who she was and gain confidence on the way. And the cool thing is that our old paradigm and our old belief system will say, no, you can't do it. You don't have enough money. You don't have all the things set up to start. Like very often we think about all the things we don't have. Like, I don't have a website. I don't have people who can do my marketing. I don't have this and that. And so many dreams die if that's the way you start your goal. And you can start it with everything, but then you will probably never start, because you're going to think about all the things you need before you start. So what I'm saying here also is, you got to jump. You will develop wings, but you got to jump. And as you jump, the resources, the people, everything is going to show up, but you got to jump. You got to have faith that it's going to work out. And everything that is happening on the way is about growth. We are here to grow and not to get. And that's also something really cool, because remember in the beginning I said, to find your purpose, you don't have to look for it. It will find you. But you got to start your journey. You got to set a goal. Maybe it is that you want to go to Spain. I was there in the beginning of this year. Maybe it is that you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car. Maybe you want to meet the woman of your life, the man of your life, whatever it is to you. As I'm speaking now, I want you to start thinking, what do I want? Not what your mother wants for you, not what your father wants from you, not what your husband or wife wants for you. What you want. What does your heart tell you that you want to do? What do you enjoy doing where the time just flies because you have so much fun? Maybe you don't know what that is because it was like that for me. I didn't know what I love doing. And you can ask yourself, why don't I know what I want to do? I'm going to help you a little bit out. When we grow up, we are conditioned to think as our parents, conditioned to think how the environment wants us to think, conditioned to think how the generations have been thinking for years. We're conditioned to think that getting an education is all we need to be successful. And I'm not picking on education because I think education is really important. But there can be other things you are good at, and that is okay. And during life, we're told to do this, pick this to study for the rest of your life because this is what you're going to do. And we're told to pick these things in life when we're really young, when we're trying to also figure out who we are. And then we're told how we should do things, what we should like, what clothes are in, what's out. And it doesn't leave a lot of room for many people to think what they like, what they really like. So when I was growing up, I was just following the crowd, but I was really unhappy following the crowd. I wanted to be a rock star when I was little. But people were like, who do you think you are? You can't be that. You tried, you failed. So I let that dream die. Because here's the thing also, when you decide what you want, there's going to be people who wants to have an opinion. And that is not because they want to be cruel, because we're conditioned to mean something about everyone. We're conditioned to also talk behind people's back. We're conditioned to criticize people. We're conditioned to read gossip magazines. We're conditioned to put people down when they want to try to get up. And that is also why a lot of people are afraid to do what they really want to do in life because they're afraid of what people will say. And they will think, oh, I did this thing in the past, and they will criticize me. That was me also. I was so afraid of what people would think of me. So now you know, number one, your purpose will find you. Just relax, but start the process right now and think about what you want to do. You can even start writing things you have done before that you want to do again. If it's going on the same vacation, if it's meeting, starting dating, whatever it is for you. Start writing it down and allow yourself to feel and think about what you want. You're allowed to do that. I'm giving you the full permission. And as you do that, You can even put on a little bit music, because music also inspires the creativity. You can have some smells, essence in the house, whatever works for you. But do it. Because something we do very often is that we go to a lot of workshops and we feel great, but we don't do the homework. So I want you to do the homework. I want you to write a list, a sentence, as many sentences as you can, what you want. Is it going on that vacation? Is it buying that house? Is it meeting the love of your life? Is it to become a coach? Is it to start your own business? Is it to apply for that job in the company? Whatever it is, write it down, because it becomes more real when you do that. So that is what I want you to do today. And I also want you to start building a vision to one of the things you've written on the list. Just start building a vision of how that would be, how it would feel to have that house. And if you can get more clear, if you can see a little bit in the house, if it's a house, how it looks, how it smells, what the color is, how many floors there is. Allow yourself to step into that vision of how you want your life. And again, for some of you, this can be hard because we didn't learn this in school. We didn't learn that we have this amazing, marvelous imagination that can take us places in an instant. It's amazing when you think about something that you can be somewhere. You can, maybe you've been in Paris, and then you can think about that place in Paris that you visited. You traveled there in your mind. And this is so powerful also because when you have an image, you attach emotion to it. Because the emotion you attach to that vision, it changes the vibration in our body. It changes the cells, how they move around. And that is what we want to reach, because when we reach that, we're changing the vibration, and that moves us into action. Because without action, nothing is going to happen. Without action, everything stays the same. If we just stay in wishing and hoping, everything stays the same. We got to move. We got to move out so that we get to the next level and to the next level and to the next level. Because what you will discover for yourself is that what you're actually doing here is finding out how you can grow more in your mindset. It has never been about getting. And that is really cool, because since we know it's not about getting, it's about growing. So number one, your purpose will find you. Just relax and write everything that you desire on that list in the workbook. Just let your mind go crazy, like everything you want, like a house, a car, a boat. If it's a new Mac, if you like Mac, whatever it is, write it down, have fun, be playful when you do this. And as you're doing this, allow pictures to come to you. It doesn't need to be a million pictures. It's enough with one or two, and then you can build on that. But as you're doing this, I want you to be kind with yourself, because many of you have not done this before. So this is new. It's like an athlete. You need to train to get better and better. Oh, and I'm going to share one last thing. Yesterday, as I was preparing for this workshop, it was so funny because David Beckham's name kept coming up. And I'm not a David Beckham fan or a football fan, but I know who is. Probably the only football player I know who is. But I'm so grateful that I followed that lead because I watched a little episode from his new documentary on Netflix. And I'm going to tell you, that man has a strong mindset. That man has climbed the ladder and his vision was so strong. He found out what he loved to do. He also found someone he loved. And this is also what's so important. When you set a goal, things are going to happen on the journey. And when I watched the documentary, that episode, things were happening on his journey. He got fired. People talked behind his back. The manager talked behind his back. The press, like it was the world against him at a point. And what is so important is that when you go on a journey, and I'm not saying that your journey is going to be like David Beckham's journey, it's really important that you surround yourself with people who believe in you. And that is what Posh Spice Victoria Beckham did. I'm so surprised that I'm talking about them, but it's the mindset. If you want to get anywhere in life, believe in your dream and people will believe in it. But you got to believe first. You got to take action first. You got to take uncomfortable actions also. And it's going to feel like it's not working out. But that's part of the growth. That's part of the fun. You need to have fun on the journey. So start developing that list, start writing down, because you can have anything you want in this world. You can have anything you want. And it doesn't matter what people think, because they don't know what you're capable of. If we look at the history of people who've done great things, what if they let other people stop them? If you think about the Wright brothers, if they would let their father and all the people around them discourage them and stop them, we wouldn't be flying the planes today. So I'm very grateful for them. If you look at Thomas Edison, he had people, yes, who helped him. But he had a mindset, a belief. If you look at Steve Jobs, how powerful he was. And yes, he also, like all other people, had people who helped him. But he had a vision. And I want to read something for you guys, and I hope I can find it here. Because before I let you go, I want you to think about this. For the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and I asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. So I want to ask you, How many days in a row have you been looking into the mirror and asked yourself, or maybe you've been saying, I don't really want to do what I'm doing? How many days have you been doing that? And if it's been going on a long time for you, that's great news. Now we are aware of it. And if you haven't experienced that, that's great, because you are in the right place. And before I let you go, my lovely people, I have prepared a visualization exercise for you, just to show you how you can do it. Because the most powerful thing is also when we use our own voice, when we suggest things to ourselves. So I want to thank you for joining day number 1 of transformation, goal setting, and visionary. You got this. The goal, your purpose will find you. Your job today, your homework today, is to write down what you want. And maybe this last video that I prepared for you will open up even more. So let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Get ready. Buckle up. And by the way, before I leave you guys, I see you tomorrow at the same time that you showed up today. Have a beautiful day wherever you are. You are loved. I want you to close your eyes. We're going on a journey together. We're walking down a road. There's so many beautiful smells on this road. And the grass is green. You can smell the nature. And you feel so calm and so grateful. You're walking a little bit faster. There's something in front of you that you've always been looking for. And you see it now. You see a house in front of you, and you walk up the stairs, and you open the door, and you feel this excitement because you are about to see what you want. You take your first step into this house, and it smells so good. You're taking in all the impressions. It is just the way you want it to be. And you observe everything so clearly. You walk into the kitchen, and everything is the way you want it. It's your style. What do you see? How does it look? What's the decoration there? Examine this picture because it's yours. You walk out of the kitchen and you see some stairs in front of you. You walk up the stairs slowly, and you're just so amazed. This place is yours. You did it. You found your place. You're at the top of the stairs, and there's a room. You walk into that room, the door is open. There's a desk in that room. You walk in with confidence because you have been here before. You've seen what you're doing. I am letting you go now. Now you start building this beautiful picture